Dear Mom, I want to start this by saying I love you. You have been my #1 supporter, my biggest fan my whole life. You've been there for me through everything, and you've done so much to make sure I'm happy. Thank you for everything. These days, though, it's hard for me to be happy. I'm trying to be, but it's very difficult. And for the first time in my life, I don't have your support. I don't know how to handle not having my mom right by my side. No, I never felt this way when I was younger. I never had the thought that maybe I'm not the person I was born as, that something was wrong or missing. I lived quite contently as a girl my whole life. That's true. It's true, if not typical, for transgender persons to have a different identity for years, whether it be from a young age or their teen years. However, that isn't the only path of self-discovery. Not everyone follows the same script or timeline. I grew up as a girl. I never thought to question anything. I was told what I was to be. I was raised by society to fit a particular mold. I was a product of my socialization. That's not to say I necessarily blame you for my unhappiness. You did nothing wrong in raising the daughter you had. You did what you were supposed to do when you have a baby girl. The reason I never had those feelings was because I didn't know. I didn't know that anything else existed. I just went with the flow, doing what I was supposed to do. I never considered being in the wrong body. That was just silly. Maybe that's why you don't support me, because I did go 20 years without any conflicting or contradictory or confusing feelings. Instead, I learned about gender variance and transgenderism in college. The more I talked to genderqueer or gender nonconforming people, the more thought I gave to my own gender identity, something I'd never considered before. I had no reason to. When I began identifying as a lesbian, I started dressing more masculine. I realized that the more androgynous I was, the better I felt about myself. I felt great. When I looked more and more like a guy, this, however, only upset me. Now my identity was called into question. I started questioning my gender early my senior year. It caused me great turmoil and really confused me. My whole life I felt and identified as one thing, but suddenly I had a whole new collection of possibilities. I tried to make sense of it all, but the only information I had came from friends I began making online who were going through, or had been through, the same thing. By November, I came to settle on identifying as genderqueer, an umbrella term describing someone who does not identify as their birth sex, that is, someone who is cisgender. I wasn't quite sure how I felt still, but it was some sort of progress in figuring myself out. It helped my anxiety a lot, but something was still off. I wanted a more definite label for myself. Being genderqueer meant I could be anything, any gender identity. I just felt that it wasn't enough for me. For some people it's perfect, but personally it felt too vague for how I was feeling. When I realized I didn't want to be a boy or a girl, I felt incredible. I had it. Agender, having no specific gender at all. I felt comfortable at last. I began using gender-neutral pronouns with my friends, they, them, their, and began socially transitioning to Skylar, a gender-neutral name. While I didn't feel male or female, though, I wanted to be more masculine. At the time, I connected being a guy with wanting a penis, a thought that never has and never will appeal to me. I want to be a Ken doll. I want a man's body without a penis. After I separated a penis from being male, I felt safe and secure identifying as female to male, FTM transgender. I started using male pronouns after my first support group meeting here. Everything began to feel so very right. The more time I spend as Aaron, a truly male name, the happier I am. I plan on starting hormone replacement therapy, HRT, for testosterone, T, because I want to be more physically male. I want a guy's voice, a guy's figure, facial hair, everything but a penis. I may even get top surgery someday to remove my breasts. I want to look like Ken. I'm telling you all of this in hopes that maybe you'll see a little bit of what I want to see, of what I see, how I feel. I struggle daily when I wake up and have to put a binder on to compress my chest. When I get dressed in my best guy clothes, knowing I would never be seen as male, even if I cut my hair and go by Aaron. It causes me extreme dysphoria, discomfort, and dissatisfaction when I go out and people only see me as a girl, especially my family. My family has always been there for me, especially you. But now, when I need it most, I don't have your support or acceptance. It causes me great harm knowing that I'm not the boy I am in anyone's eyes. The only people who see and treat me as I am are my friends, in real life and online. It hurts that my only support comes from outsiders. I'm going to start tea because it's what will make me happy. I'll feel so good about myself, something you know I've never felt. You've always wanted what's best for me. You've always wanted what would make me happy. Well, this is it. I'm still the same person, I just have a new name. I know it will be hard to process. I understand it will take a lot of time, but I hope you can someday accept me as I am. I hope you can support Aaron and his happiness. If you have questions, please ask me. I know this is a lot to take in. I love you. Love, Aaron Bennett.